Hello, hello, hello. It's Knits for Sanity and welcome to my holiday celebration. My Add More Zest, Zesty Advent Diamond Painting Calendar and my Add More Zest 12 Days of Christmas calendar. Yesterday I did forget to open my day 3 gift, so I'm going to actually open days 3 and 4 today. But just real quick, you might hear a little more background noise than normal. Out of necessity with having to do this much filming, I can't always do it without having a bunch of people around. And if you're not aware, we live in a really, really teeny tiny house. Like, that's my son right now, dragging a chair across the kitchen floor. I envy those people that have craft rooms. I don't have one. I have a nook. So I'm very much right in the middle of the house. So background noise, it's just part of family life. All right, so here we go, day 3. Let's open this up. And of course, I will link to Add More Zest's store here. Check out her YouTube channel. She's amazing. Ooh, a 2023 calendar. Ooh. Oh, we're going to open this up, right? All right, let's look at this. I love little calendars. Oh, I like this. They have all these different quotations for every month. Art washes the dust of everyday life from the soul. My oldest is standing over here. I don't know what her problem is. Now, my birthday month is June, so I always have to go check out June. Do you guys do that? Do you like quick flip to your month? Make every day a little less ordinary.
What's my month?
That's my oldest. Okay, her month is October.
My month's November.
See, now this is what happens when you record when the whole family's home. Now they all want to know their months. And none of us have duplicate birthday months. October, there is a difference between giving up and knowing when you have had enough.
You never say that to me.
And finally, November, and then I'm done. No more requests. Don't let anyone dull your sparkle. And actually, for my November baby girl, this is very appropriate. Oh, I like that. That's pretty cool. So this was day 3. This is just, I mean, the thing that I love about little calendars is these are perfect to drop in your purse. So even though this may not be your like main calendar, then when you're out and about, you can at least quickly jot down in here and transfer what you've written down on your little square in here and put that in your main planner at home. I really like little notebook calendars like this. All right, so now this is day 4. This is today. Binder clips. Yes, this is a perfect size for diamond painters. Little 50mm binder clips and awesome pastel colors. Fantastic. My son's here. See? Yeah. It's very hard to record with the family about, but we're doing it, guys. All right, so those were yesterday and today items from the Add More Zest gift advent calendar. Definitely stay in touch with Add More Zest next year. Hopefully she'll do it again. This was their first year doing this kind of a gift advent calendar, but it was insanely popular. I know she has said multiple times that it exceeded their expectations. And I've said too, I wanted the 24-day calendar and it sold out way too fast for me. But they were able to make a 12-day calendar. And so I was able to get in on the 12-day calendar. So I'm really glad I was able to do that. And next year, yeah, who knows? I'm hoping they do it again. We'll have to wait and find out. All right, so I'm on day 4. Days 1, 2, and 3 are now done. So day 4 is where we are at. I actually got to pull these sleeves up a little bit. This is a pretty fuzzy sweater. So I'm afraid if I don't do that, it's going to get all over my sweater here. I mean, no, I'm afraid my sweater is going to get all over my diamond painting. And like I've said before, for me, I laid down my paper. It's not completely exact. So I'm just filling in what's exposed, and then like the other borderline on this side, I'll get that when I do day 10. I had to let it rest. I had to let my perfectionism go and just realize I will just do what I uncover and it will work out from there. All right. So yesterday I promised that today I already knew what I would be talking about. And that's because December 4th is actually a pretty easy day for me to know what I'm talking about. It is my wedding anniversary. I'm not going to tell you how many years, because in my other advent calendar opening with Happy Mermaid Yarns, I did put out a question and asking people, how many years do you think I have been married? So I guess same here. Go ahead, put your guess down, and in a couple of days, I'll let you know if your answers are right. Just, take a stab at it. I think I have mentioned it in Whip and Chats in the past. So if you are a longtime follower, you might actually know the answer to this. But yes, December 4th is my wedding anniversary. And just a few different things about our wedding. Because I did want a Christmas themed wedding. I love the holidays. I love the holiday decorations. But our wedding was actually planned super fast. We decided the very beginning of September that we wanted to get married in December. We originally were going to be getting married in, well, it's an interesting, confusing story. My husband and I actually started dating because we knew that we were going to get married. And we figured that it might look better if we dated before we just got engaged. So we officially dated for approximately 6.5 months. And then we got engaged. And then originally we were going to get married 11 months after the engagement. So he proposed in June and we were going to get married in May of the next year. But a number of different things happened and we decided that that was not going to work for us anymore. And so we postponed our wedding, and we were thinking it was probably going to be another year and we would just get married in May the year after that. Well, in September, we decided that no, we just want to get married. And so we settled on the first weekend of December, which kind of threw our families a little bit. It was like, what? That's like really soon. And we said, yep. But here's the thing. We want a small wedding. Which we did. The wedding we'd been planning before, it was like 150 people or something. And that's not us. We're small people. I mean, not like physically small people, but we don't like large groups. We like small groups. We like intimate groups. We wanted small. And so I know my mother-in-law had a very hard time with that. She was not pleased, but to this day, I have no regrets about it at all. So we ended up getting married in, it was called a mansion, but you need to understand that this is mansion by way of small Midwestern town mansion. It would have been a large late 19th century home when it was built, but it was definitely no mansion. But the couple that had purchased it a few years earlier had carefully restored the place, and it was just beautiful. And it came already decorated for the holidays because they also used it as a bed and breakfast. So the place was already beautiful, and it was already going to be decorated. So we didn't have to pay for decorations, really. And then the only flowers we had to purchase were what like everyone involved in the wedding party needed. And so that was like super convenient. A beautiful setting, just a beautiful, beautiful setting. And our ceremony was 20 people total. And that included the bride and the groom and the pastor and his wife. I mean, super duper tiny. And given the fact that my husband came from a family of 4, including him, and I came from a family of 5, including me, so that's already 9 people. And then you have the pastor and his wife, that's 11. Right there, oh, wow. And if there were like 20 total, there were not many people there. There were not. It was very, very small. And it was exactly what we wanted. And then we had a couple hour, 90-minute, 2-hour break in between the ceremony. And then the reception was held there too. And it was like an open house style reception because this was a house and it was an older house. So there wasn't, one huge room for everyone to gather in. And 65 people were invited for the reception. That included the original 20 that were at the ceremony. So a few more people were invited for the reception. For the most part, cousins were not invited. There were a couple exceptions there. Cousins that we were particularly close with were invited. But otherwise, it was little. And it did involve, my husband and I had to make sacrifices too. There were people that we would have liked to have invited and could not because of size restraints. But that is what we wanted to do. And I'm really, really glad we did. It's been X number of years later, and I have 0 regrets about the wedding that we had. It was probably perfect. It was small and sweet, very intimate. And then with some of the faux pas that happened during the wedding ceremony, it wasn't that huge of a deal. So every wedding, of course, you're told that something's going to go wrong, right? This is like the understood thing, I think, is every wedding, something's going to go wrong. Well, there were, I guess, 3 things that kind of happened during the wedding ceremony itself that quote unquote went wrong. The first one, my mother cut our unity candle too short. Now, if you don't know what a unity candle is, it is just a candle that sometimes people choose to light during a marriage ceremony. And it represents these 2 people lighting this one wick to, make this one flame. It's just like what it sounds, your unity candle. Well, my mom in her prep, she was trying to be good and she cut the wick. I'm sure was thinking we don't need like a ton of smoke or anything like that, especially in this really beautiful old home. But the wick was cut too short. And so we couldn't light the unity candle. I think eventually we did get it lit. I'm pretty sure we did. Maybe. I think eventually we did melt enough wax around the wick that we were able to get it lit. So that was our wedding problem, number 1. Number 2, I realized it after we were up there and the ceremony had started. So I already knew ahead of time, but nobody else did. I was the only person who was aware of this problem. And I just kept thinking, okay, so now how am I going to handle this when we get to this point of the ceremony? Well, it was exchanging rings. And it came time for me to have my maid of honor produce my husband's wedding band. But we forgot it. So when it was, take out your rings, I said to my husband, well, we're going to have to pretend that we have yours. And he's like, what? And I said, well, we forgot it. It's upstairs. It's no big deal. We'll just pretend that we have it. And I think, other people, my maid of honor was a little bit mortified because she really felt like, oh my gosh, that was my responsibility. I should have thought of that. And I think the pastor was really taken aback, and I think rather surprised at how nonplussed I was with the situation, but I really was. For me, it's like, oh, it's just a symbolic thing. I mean, there's nothing truly like important about the ring. We're still married, you know? So yeah, I just told my husband, well, we're going to have to pretend that you have your ring because I forgot it. It was upstairs. And so right after the ceremony, I did get it for him. But yeah, during our actual ceremony, I just pretended to put a wedding ring on him. And I guess it's a really good thing that rings to me were never a big hairy deal because he lost his wedding ring now several years ago. It's somewhere on our property is what he figures. So I guess it works out that wedding rings aren't a huge deal for me. And I don't wear mine anymore because it needs quite a bit of work done to it and we can't afford to get it fixed up. So all well, right? So that was thing number 2. And then thing number 3 is this will date our wedding. But we just barely ran out of videotape. The man who owned the mansion was also a somewhat professional videographer. And so that was kind of like that came with renting out the place, as he also then videoed our wedding. Well, he actually ran out of film, but it was just for like the last minute and a half total of the ceremony. So that in many ways was probably perfect. So that is just a few little tidbits about our wedding day so many years ago. Write in the comments how many years you think it's been. And like I said, in a couple of days, I'll get back to you about the number of years it's been. And I might have faux pas number 4 relating to our wedding. Just wait. Anyway, thank you so much for sticking around and listening to me ramble about my wedding. I will now speed up the video and you can watch me work super fast speed to complete this square for day 4. Sit back, listen to a couple of good tunes, and I will show you the finished product when I'm done. look at the cute reindeer. Isn't that sweet? Oh, guys, this calendar has been even more fun than I anticipated it being. It has been an absolute blast to do. Please join me tomorrow. I cannot wait to share more stories with you and just do more of this holiday celebration together. And like I always say, please practice kindness. I know it's not always easy, but kindness will always win out in the end. And in return, I hope you are shown the same. I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you have a blessed holiday season. And I will see you again real soon.